Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So really quickly before we get started, I don't sound very enthusiastic because one, it is very late. Two, this is probably like my 10th, 15th time trying to film this video because for some reason it does not want to be filmed, but I really want to get it up for you guys. That way we can hopefully resume cash stuffing this week. So in today's video, we are going to be going through my paycheck breakdown so you guys can get a feel for how my numbers are going to look from here on out. I did already adjust my bills. I have not switched up the sinking funds yet, which we'll do together, which hopefully that's a good idea. But basically I wanted you guys to see how I'm going to be starting over, and if you guys have a low income, kind of how I'm going to be approaching it. So I will say the numbers that we are going to be going through for my bills and income are going to be monthly, just because I feel like that'll be the easiest way to kind of set this up. And then of course, as we get back into weekly or even bi-weekly cash stuffing, it'll kind of work itself out. So we're going to start with income. So now that I don't post very frequently, I practically just make money from my part-time job, which pays me $10 an hour for full transparency. So I do work about 25 hours a week, which means for the month I make about $1,000. I will say it's probably more like a little bit under that, but with the amount that I do get from YouTube, I would say I make about $1,000 a month. Which I do plan to increase my hours here shortly. That way I can go ahead and bring in a little bit more money, because $1,000 after my bills are paid is not that much, considering I do now pay my own tuition / rent. So that is a whole other thing, which is not here, but that's because I do save for that separately with like financial aid and all that kind of stuff. So my $1,000 income per month pays for all of these bills, which we are about to go through the numbers. So Discover is $35 a month. Then Amazon comes in at $40 a month. We then have BarkBox, which I do think I am going to cut off probably after the month of October, just because I haven't even changed my shipping address. So everything does get shipped back home to San Antonio, and Wanda doesn't really use her toys now that we've moved again. Then I have the Upstart loan, which is $117. Again, for full transparency on that loan, that is for the engagement ring that I no longer wear. Unfortunately, I do still have to pay it. I've tried to sell the ring back. It's not working. So yeah, I pay $117 there. Then Best Buy, I don't actually know what my minimum payment is. I do have to double check, but for now we are going to be budgeting $100 a month for that. That way I can also kind of get Best Buy out of the way, because it's a credit card I kind of regret having, but at the same time I appreciate having gotten it because it has helped me tremendously with school, with like my laptop, my iPad, and like a ton of stuff like that. Then I have my Citi card, which I do use as a balance transfer credit card, and that has $41 a month. And then lastly is my Jeep, which I did refinance, and that came down to $260 a month, which was only like a $20 difference, but that's still $20. I will say though that although the monthly payment is lower, the loan itself was not a better deal, which I expected with the refinancing process, at least until the second auto loan comes off my name. So this is all of my bills for the month, which, if I'm correct, should total to $610. But if that's not right, just go ahead and let me know. I'll for sure just double check off camera. I don't have like my small calculator with me. So with that being said, with $1,000 minus $610, that is a total of $390 left for practically the month. Which is not very much money considering there's 4 weeks in a month. I grocery shop on my own. I still have my animals that I have to worry about, and everything else that comes in between, like gas and all that good stuff. So that is why I say that I am a low income budget, because now I really truly feel like I am more than ever. Okay, but those are those two little sections. Cash envelopes, gas, food, and groceries are still my staples. I have been eating out quite frequently. However, I do think these categories will stay on my debit card, only because that has been easier for me to manage versus pulling out cash. Because if I have cash for these categories, chances are I'm going to use my card and then just deposit the money. So for now, we are going to be keeping these in my debit card. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put lines through those for now. Now for savings, we have emergency and the $1 challenge. For the sake of just trying to get back on track, we are going to be deleting the $1 challenge, and emergency is also just going to remain in my digital bank account. So I'm going to go ahead and cross that out too. I don't think I'm going to have a physical savings, but we'll see. Maybe we'll have like a small one, but for now we'll probably have this represent what my bank account says, which is probably not a good idea to share that number with you guys because my savings account is very, very much like non-existent practically, but it's gonna get there. We're gonna build it back up. So now for sinking funds. This is going to be my struggle with restarting because I love to save for like any and everything because I always assume that I'm going to have something come up, but we need to be like extremely buckled down in this regard so that I can go ahead and actually be saving for the things I truly need. So with that being said, business is going to be one that goes. I know business was usually used for like YouTube or Etsy, but I don't plan to resume Etsy at all with physical products. I do actually plan to sell my silhouette and my whole like little setup, which I'm sorry if that's sad news, but I don't have any room for it here in my dorm room, so that's just gonna go. Now, car maintenance is going to stay because that is an important one that I, of course, always need. Christmas, I am also going to keep. However, I don't know if I'm actually going to use the envelope for it or if I might just throw that into my online savings. Now, debt we are going to delete as well as gifts. Actually, I think we're going to keep gifts because things like, you know, birthdays and holidays that aren't Christmas, I think gifts is important. Now, my niece, I'm going to go ahead and delete her, but anything that I'm saving for her quinta, again, I'll just have in my savings. That'll probably be something that I pull from there versus it having its own sinking fund. So pet food, of course, we're going to keep because that is something that they need. Spending is something that I now just play by ear, and it's been working really well, again with just looking at my online bank account and kind of determining whether or not I have the money to spend. So we're going to go ahead and remove that. Toiletries we're going to keep. That could also just stay in my account, but I think we'll go ahead and have a physical category for that. That way I can kind of actually manage how much I spend on there versus being like, oh, I'm going to go get toiletries and then I leave Target with like a ton of things that I don't need. Travel is always going to stay because it's a necessity for me regardless of how low my income is. It's always something that I want to be saving towards because I absolutely love traveling. I would rather save to travel than buy little things here and there for leisure. So we're going to keep that. And then we're also going to keep WandaVision because this covers things like treats, vet stuff, litter, basically whatever isn't pet food, I guess, is how I would say that. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to add anything. I wanted to just remove from what I already have. That way I also don't have to make new envelopes. Now, for my bills, I do think I am going to be keeping these digitally, which means that, actually, no, honestly, I should probably pull them out because that way I know they're physically set aside versus being in my savings and accidentally transferred over when that bill is coming up. So now we're gonna get into my two little binders, which honestly, I think this is already kind of set up the correct way. I'm not exactly sure. So like grooming, I don't need that anymore. Amazon, we have Best Buy. BOA bills, I usually use this one for my car payment, so I'm just going to keep that one in there. We can get rid of Zales. And then I think that's everything. So there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 envelopes in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm missing something. Oh, I'm missing my Discover. Okay, so I'll go ahead and figure that out. But Discover needs to get back in there. The reason it wasn't in there is because I used my Citi balance transfer for my Discover balance, but we all know I had a rough time. I basically racked up my Discover again, and I will say that was for like school costs and tuition. It wasn't because I just wanted to use it, but stuff happens, and that's where I'm at there. So now for this envelope, we are going to be removing business. We're going to keep car maintenance, Christmas. We're going to be taking out debt. Gifts is going to stay. Kira is going to come out. Pet food will stay as well. Spending, toiletries, travel, and then WandaVision should all be fine. And then I'm going to take these savings cards out because I don't want to see them all the time and then feel bad that I'm not stuffing them. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull those out. So we still have 2 binders, but they are practically empty. But yeah, so I think that is all that we have to do for preparation. I don't even have estimated numbers for these. Honestly, this is going to probably just be like $20 to $50 a week, whatever I can afford to pull out to divide amongst these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 envelopes, which I honestly don't think is bad for restarting on like my pretty low income. But yeah, so I know this video was everywhere and it probably like didn't even need to be posted, but I wanted you guys to kind of come along with me on the reset journey and know exactly where I'm starting when we hopefully get back into cash stuffing versus me just coming back and then trying to explain the changes in the same video. But yeah, so anyway, I appreciate you guys that have watched this far and appreciate you for sticking around. So please like, comment, and subscribe. I will hopefully be back this week and I will see you guys on Thursday. Bye.